Hello and welcome. This is a maze. I think this is like number five, 4 or 5 of these free workshops that I have been giving all month long. For those who don't know, for my 20-year anniversary, 20 whole years as a certified holistic health coach. And so that was an idea I had in August, and it's been an absolute joy, like literally an absolute joy. And so I'm going to say welcome now. I'm going to say welcome on replay because no exaggeration, I think there's 20 to 25 women. I know you all have different schedules who said they couldn't do it, but they would absolutely watch the replay. And so if you're here, I tip my hat to you. If you're on replay, all right, I try to make these calls interactive, meaning if you have a question before these workshops, you can always just ask me. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll answer them on the call. If you have a question on the call, you're welcome to throw it in the chat. Yes, and I'll answer it either while I'm teaching or at the end. And for those on replay who are not already in our Freedom Club, where you have access to me and my team, okay, to ask us questions, you can absolutely ask me a question on the replay, okay? It's as if you were here, all right? This is what I do for all my calls, even women in the Freedom Club who can't make live calls 3-4 times a month. It's always, you can still be here even if you're on replay, okay? That's how I ride. Okay, so I'm going to give you, because some don't know me, so I always literally keep it to maybe under a minute. For those who just met me, I am Jen Eden. I am the founder of this thing called the Sugar Freedom Method. Okay, it's this 5 steps to kicking and managing sugar addiction, bringing your inflammation down. Yes, belly fat is the workshop today. Belly fat, and how the hell, Jen, do we get rid of it? Okay, I'm going to talk about that in detail. But that is the work that I do in the Freedom Club. And I've been doing it 20 years and I can't say enough about it. I've got 3 kids, I'm midlife, and this literally is my joy, other than teaching in my kids' school and the teachings that we do throughout the month. So with that said, thank you for being here. Now I'm going to do a quickie before I forget. Should you want to be in the runnings, I'm doing it a little different this time. I'm going to do it by a number system. I'm going to give you my email address for those who don't have it, Jen at JE Coaching. Replay, I'm going to do the drawing tomorrow, but I'm going to pick a number of all the women who said that they're either live or on replay, and you send me an email. I'm going to send you a, one woman is going to get a copy, let me grab it, of my book that's been out on Amazon for 9 years. It's a really cool book. It is not the method, because I fine-tuned the method within the last 5 years, but it's a really cool book, Woman Unleashed. And so I would love to be able to send you a copy. So it's a fun game. You're welcome to email me, tell me you were on this call. And if you're on replay, I already have your info, and I'm going to draw from a hat this time versus how long do you know me? That's what won last time. Okay. And let's have fun with that. I would love to do that for you. Okay. So with that said, let's jump in and let's talk about like belly fat, right? And I always start with, when I teach, like, what happened. And for those who don't know, so I love to educate you. You see, because an educated woman, she can't be taken advantage of. She can't be duped. She won't buy unnecessary supplements or creams or diet programs or drugs and all these things that make people a lot of money preying on us midlife women. And so that drives me bonkers. And so I love doing this because I get to teach you, and I get a lot of feedback that I just make a lot of sense, right? It's not so much about understanding the nitty-gritty of every single thing, because what happens is you will get confused. And what happens when you get confused? It's called analysis paralysis. You do nothing. And so I don't want you to do nothing. I actually really want you to use what I'm talking about and then do something with it. And so let's just talk about, so like, what happened, Jen? Now, there are 2 types of women here. There are some women who have always had belly fat, yes, and have carried weight. And they're like, it's gotten worse, Jen. Shoot. I'm uncomfortable. Before it was a kind of okay. So you've always had some weight, and now it's skyrocketed, and you're concerned about your health, about you can't stand what you look like, right? And things don't fit. So there's that. There's also the woman who has been thin. I've seen this your whole life. You're like, I never had anything. And now I've got this thing, Jen, this thing right around the middle. And I don't know what to do with that, right? And so we've got that person. I exercise, I kind of eat clean, but now my waistline's growing and it's annoying me and I don't know how to fix it. And with all due respect, you don't want to do the drugs. You don't want to do anything severe. You actually don't have to. It's actually pretty simple what I'm going to teach you. But I want you to just think about where you fit in that category. And if I missed you and there's another category you're in, just come in the chat and tell me what category you're in, because I need you all to feel included. Like Jen's talking to me. She's talking to me that I've carried weight my whole life and what the hell, it's getting out of control more. A lot of you become pre-diabetic. You come see us because you're nervous about becoming diabetic and you've got cancer in your family or heart disease. And you start to freak out on top of the belly fat. And then there's others don't have that. You just don't feel great. And you really can't stand what the heck is happening in the midsection. And so, and if I missed anyone, just tell me who you are. But I need you to hear this. I need you to know, and it is annoying and true. I'm kind of sick of always having hormones be blamed, right? Oh, it's my hormones. And the truth is that our hormones really do something in midlife. They absolutely do. And one of the things, not getting into all the details, okay, some of my courses have weight loss course, belly fat course, which is not out because I'm not done with it yet, details. But what I would like for you to know today is that your cortisol absolutely does rise. Cortisol rises in midlife. It's really friggin' annoying. And what cortisol does, it's a stress hormone. Now, whether you're sitting on a beach singing Kumbaya, which I wish, right? Or you're stressed out, single mom, maybe not single, but a lot going on, aging parents, and all these things. Yes. Cortisol goes up. Now you have to just memorize today that cortisol makes your waist expand. It's a true story. So high stress will actually just make your waist start to expand. So the other thing I want to talk about is, I don't know, maybe I'll talk about it right now because I've got some notes, but I tend to just go off on tangents where I think it makes sense. See, belly fat, I just want to say, is a little different than weight loss. Belly fat, weight loss, okay? And I say that because sometimes my belly can feel like it's growing, but I'm not putting on weight, a ton of weight, but my belly is expanding, okay? I find that is cortisol related and that is gut health related, and I will get to that in a minute, bloating, okay? So I want you to think of belly fat a little different than weight loss, okay? Because there are plenty of women who say, Jen, I am trying to lose weight, but I'm not losing it in the belly. And so adding to what I'm saying with high cortisol, okay, got it. This is good to know. Let me just see what's being written. And I'm going to keep talking about the cortisol. So Lauren says 2 decades of having children. Yeah. Okay. So that's fair. I understand because I'm there. I'll be 50. I have 3 kids, 20 to 40 pounds, but now it's different. It looks different, feels different. Okay. Thank you very much for saying that. Okay. Lauren and Donna agrees. That's great. Very helpful. It's shifting. Am I correct? And you're welcome to play along with me. It's shifting. It looks different. A lot of women say it's not hard anymore. It starts to get weird and soft and things jiggle that didn't. You can tell me if I'm on point with that. Right. I'm going to address that today. Yeah. Oh, what's that? Right. Okay. So I will get to that in a second. But can you please just memorize that our hormones do play a part. It doesn't mean it needs to take us out. Okay, and Chris, it's all in the belly. Yes, soft. Okay, that's working out stuff. I'll get to that today. Okay, it's actually really important. I'm going to talk about cardio versus weight training today, having to do with fat. But let me just quickly close on this cortisol thing. Okay, stress does things. You're noticing it. High cortisol happens in midlife. I said that life happens more, and what we end up doing is, with all due respect, we don't make shifts until, and there's no judgment on this, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds on. And then we're like, whoa, where did it all come from? But it had been creeping on, right? True story. And you didn't do anything about it. Now, I'm not here to point fingers and make you feel bad. Oh, Dee, I'm all over you today. I'm grateful you're here. I'm going to talk to you about how to get it off. I just want to lay the foundation so you understand what the heck's going on with your body. And this is not shaming. This is, things started to happen in your body, okay? And what happened was you weren't making adjustments. I know because 20 years I've been doing this, women come in the Freedom Club and they're like, oh my God, I didn't know I needed to do these things. which I'm going to talk to you about now, because there are things that you need to do in midlife to be healthy, the visceral fat that Dee was talking about, okay? These are just things you have to do. And I'll talk some next steps, but like when I say you have to do them, and by the way, this isn't a ploy to work with me or join the Freedom Club. I don't really care what you do. Just get some help from someone who makes sense that you trust. But you have to do these things. There ain't any other way to do it. And I know because I'll be 50 and I look this way, and I'll send you more pictures. You could look at my belly now, like it's flat 3 kids, because I do these things and because I'm the founder of the Sugar Freedom Method, and I've been tweaking for decades. So when midlife is hitting now, I'm starting to see things happen, and I am moving with the changes. I'm not just like, no, I'm not going to change my diet, which is number 1 today. Don't be mad. Okay, what I teach is not diet. You don't have to eat salad. I hear that one a lot. Jen, do I have to eat a salad? No. Do I have to eat avocado? No. I don't know what you like. I don't know what inflames you. We teach you that. But you do need to memorize this. Change your diet. Okay, belly fat comes from things you were eating that are storing in the form of sugar. I'm going to say it. Now, it's not just, Jen, I don't eat cane sugar. I eat very clean. I hear this one a lot. I got it. Okay. There's sugar in your yogurt. I have it here. Okay. Sugar in your bread, sugar in your almond butter, the sugar in your chocolate, the sugar in commercial salad dressing, there's sugar in low carb stuff. There's sugar in these things. Okay. I'll say it, excess fruit. Does it mean you can't have these things? No. Fast food, belly fat. Why? Because it's loaded with stuff that is going to pour on in that particular area. I want to be very clear on this, because nothing I teach is about can never have again. But what I find is women are confused when they come talk to me, and they think they're doing everything right. So then they go to, supplements, or I'm just going to go to the gym more, or my trainer said this. And I'm like, no, belly fat, true story, really has so much to do with sugar and foods we eat that turn to sugar quickly. French fries, these things that I always say are like things we're addicted to, yes? And things that inflame us. I just want to know if that makes sense. Does that feel harsh? Give me some feedback, because I wasn't going to sugarcoat today, no pun intended. And it's really important, that these are the things that also lead to pre-diabetes and diabetes. And so when people say, well, Jen, how do you look this way with your arms and your body? And well, it's because I put my health first, and I eat the things we're talking about right here. But the method, the Sugar Freedom Method, doesn't say don't eat things, but they're under my control, and I'm not inflaming myself all day eating these things. Someone just come in the chat. Great. And Christy said she's in our Freedom Club. It's the cooked oil more than the potatoes, right? So we teach that also, right? Christy's in our Freedom Club, learning the method for a while now, right? God bless you, feeling great and body changing. But someone needs to say it. It's partially diet. It is. When my abs start to go, I know it's been high stress. I have not been resting. Number 2, I know, diet's off, too much of the sugar. Too much of the sugars and things that come to sugar. Please memorize this. You might have heard it before. You cannot out-exercise, outsmart a diet that doesn't work for you. Does that make sense? You can't out-exercise it. I know, because I work out regularly, and if I have a high cookie week or whatever, it's not like I don't eat it with my kids, right? I'll go, oh, there it is, and that's the first place it goes. Is that helpful to hear? I need you to hear that. And then we get it back off. I'm going to teach you some of these other things. But does that make sense what I'm sharing? Is that a surprise to anyone? Some women left the call. I get it. Forget this woman. I wanted a supplement. You can't have a supplement. Yes, helpful. Makes sense. Okay, good. Then just know that getting healthy and getting these things under wraps helps the belly fat. People say, oh, well, are you disciplined? Well, I'm addicted to feeling good. I'm no longer addicted to those foods because I follow what I teach.
All right.
So it's not about never having this stuff anymore. Okay. I really want you to memorize that. It's about having it. I'm just going to mute you all. It's about having it under your control. Do you hear me? So that you're not constantly fighting against your weekend eating, which is what I promised I would talk about today. So I'm going to do that as well right now before I move into the other one, two. Oh, it's number 4 on the list. I'm going to go to it now. Here's the other thing about belly fat. And I want you to hear it because it's true. It's the truth. Belly fat is one of the hardest things to lose. It's the truth. I find it's one of the last places for women who are shrinking and losing weight, which I'm going to talk to you about weight in a second, but it's one of the hardest places, especially when you're not putting yourself first, prioritizing yourself. Okay, that's module 5 of the Sugar Freedom Method, where you're not doing those things 7 days a week, and you're doing it maybe 4 days or 5, and then the weekends you're like, oh, the hell with it, I'm taking off. You can't actually take off and not have belly fat. I need you to hear that. Now, I'm not saying I don't have fun, I won't have a drink. I'm not saying that, but what I want you to know, for those who are chasing, I want to fix this belly fat thing, you got to care for yourself 7 days a week. Okay, you have to care for yourself. There's no taking off. For me, a vacation is like being home. I don't go on vacation and go, I've been good while I'm home. Now I'm going to go to help myself and eat and drink and do whatever I want. Actually, my life, true story, feels like a vacation in that if I want something, I have it when I'm home. I don't say no. The method doesn't teach you can't have things. And what it does is it kind of keeps you, does this make sense? Even keel. So you don't have these highs, it's Christmas, it's Hanukkah, it's Thanksgiving, stuff yourself, and then these lows of, oh, summer's coming, gotta make my body look better. Can you see that? You will never get rid of belly fat with highs and lows of that mentality. Does that make sense? Because that's number 2 today. I need you to take care of yourself 7 days a week. By the way, this is how you have amazing health, vibrant energy, sleep better, great skin and hair and nails. It's a true story. Is all this stuff. Yeah. People say, why don't you have, a belly and stuff? I say, because I care about how I look, how I feel more than how I look. And how I look is the byproduct. Does that make sense? Is that helpful to hear? Someone give me feedback. It's really important because I'm here for you today. Good. It's making sense. Yes, because what I do is I teach what I call the backdoor approach. I teach you how to think unlike everybody else. And that's why I look unlike most moms of 3 kids at 50, because I don't like highs and lows, and your belly doesn't like highs and lows, and you will have some belly fat, won't have belly fat. And for those who have 20, 30, 40 pounds plus to lose of fat, which I'm going to teach you next. I'm actually excited to teach you this because I'm sick of people talking about, cardio and training. I want to explain something to you about that. But let me get back to and finish what I was saying. You really do need to take care of yourself 7 days a week. And I just want to say, notice I said take care of yourself. I didn't say diet. I didn't say don't have those things, restrict, leave yourself out. No, it's a birthday or something you want it, great. I call it isolating the inflammation. That's what I teach in the Sugar Freedom Method. But I do need you to know it's one of the hardest things, and it can happen, but you have to be committed, and you have to know that you want your health better, and the belly fat will go from the things I'm teaching. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3, can we please talk about, where do I have that in my notes? Oh, this whole thing about exercise, because they're like, cardio doesn't burn fat, and muscle weighs more than fat. So it doesn't. A pound of muscle, let's just get this out of the way. A pound of muscle weighs as much as a pound of fat. However, muscle is dense. Muscle is dense. Yeah. So when women start going, oh my God, I don't know if I'm losing belly fat or anything else. Yeah. I teach this in that weight loss course. Okay. In detail. But for today, I'm just going to quickly share this. Okay. Let me go back. 3,500 calories is a pound of fat. 3,500 calories. And so whether you're doing cardio or you're weightlifting, you are burning calories. When you get in a deficit of 3,500 calories, please, I don't recommend more than 500 a day, because then you will relapse, and then you'll be binging on things different course I have. I got you covered everywhere. I don't want you binging because then you're not going to ever lose the weight, right? Because you're never going to be in a consistent calorie decline. But cardio and weight training both burn calories. A pound of muscle weighs the same as a pound of fat. However, a pound of muscle, right? I could weigh as much as you, but things will fit me different because muscle is what? I taught you that muscle's dense. So you fit in your genes different. So women who are just about the scale, it takes you out because you could be shrinking and losing. And I'm going to get to why else your belly might not be changing in a second, but you might be shrinking and losing, but the scale hasn't changed. And then you all do this thing called you give up, or you binge, or you get upset. And the deficit that you were just in from the cardio or the weight training, you have now made it go away, and now your body's not going to take anything from its fat stores, which let me explain what this means. They always say you can do some cardio. I always prefer, and we teach this in the Freedom Club, that you weight train for long-term weight loss, okay? Which, by the way, does help with belly fat. It does. But cardio can help also. The difference is, wait for it, muscle, while you're sitting down at rest, burns more calories. So while cardio, you might be like, Jen, 1,000 calories. I might be burning some fat later in the week. Yes, you might from the 1,000 calorie of the cardio, but it's a short-term calorie deficit. Versus if you weight trained and started to put on muscle and didn't care what the scale looked like, the muscle I have on me is constantly burning calories more than the fat sitting on us. Does that make sense? So I'm sitting here burning calories, staying lean because I have muscle on me. And that's why we teach that in the method. I'm actually the mindset and movement coach. And people say, well, I walked this week. No problem. Walking is great. But the problem is the minute you stop walking and you keep eating the same amount of food, you go, oh, my weight went back up. Yes, because you weren't putting muscle on. And muscle is your long-term insurance to keep belly fat low, to keep weight off, and that you can have some excess calories and you don't always put weight back on. And that's my biggest pet peeve. When women come see me and say, I did Optavia. I did these things, Jen. I started to get a little slimmer. Talk about that in a second with the belly stuff. But it came right back on. That is your biggest pet peeve. I don't understand why. Well, you got a lot of chemicals in you, and chemicals cause cravings. And so you're always craving, even though you're in a calorie deficit. So the minute you're not in a calorie deficit, the weight comes right back on. That's number one. Number two, you probably weren't building muscle. Muscle, like I said, is your long-term insurance, so that we don't count calories. We don't count macros. We just get you balanced. Does that make sense? And you start putting on muscle, which does take time to put on, months in midlife. But once you put it on, how do I want to say it? You need to keep working out, but you're constantly burning more calories. So it's not that weight training makes you burn more fat. It just has you burning more calories over time. And 3,500 calories is what? 1 pound of fat. Does that make sense what I just shared? Because people get very confused about a scale, about are they losing it or not. The scale isn't going down, but they're feeling leaner, and they're always confused. Did it make sense what I just said? If not, I'm going to share a little more because I got time. And then I'm going to teach you another concept today. Did that make sense? Why it would make sense now to not go for the quick hit of cardio and starting to put some more muscle on you, that you have the long-term ability to be burning more calories. Plus it protects your bones. Yes? Feedback. Make sense? Anyone confused? The name of the I would love more info. Nope, not confused. Okay, cool. Well, okay. You know what, Anastasia? I'll see what I can send you because I know you. But let me just keep going on this concept, okay? See, the name of the game is for belly fat, for any fat to leave your body, you have to stop using, your body has to stop using the food you're eating as fuel, and it needs to use your fat stores as fuel. That's why people do intermittent fasting. That's why women say, my God, keto, this carnivore diet, I shrunk. Well, what happened was you're eating food, your body's utilizing it. It's utilizing it, But what it's utilizing the rest of the time is your fat stores as energy. Does that make sense? Which is why when women come see us and they're like, I'm not losing weight, but I'm eating mostly clean. And I took a look at their diet. I'm like, you've got loaded amounts of hidden sugar everywhere. And you're not going to lose a pound, even though you're exercising, because you've got so much sugar that your body is using the sugar as fuel and not your fat stores as fuel. Does that make sense? I'm going to wait on that, which is why concept 1, I need you to get your sugar under your control to lose belly fat, is very important. It's number 1. I need that for you. A, for your health, for the rest of your life. God, okay, we're getting lots of yeses. And B on that, it's not just healthy, but it's going to help finally pull stores of fat from your belly, which is one of the hardest places for it to go, which is why I see women at the gym, they're looking so lean. I'm like, up, but their bellies are always the last place because they're not consistent with it. And they're not going 7 days a week of this self-care I talked about, okay? So that's number 1. Number 2, I just talked to you about exercise, and you can do some cardio. Do it. It's not that you can't, but you're not going to get lean that way and stay lean. You need the weight training in midlife for the belly fat. You need that. Why? Because I don't eat perfect. I don't count calories. Method does not teach that. But what I do is I have enough muscle on me from years of being consistent. We teach that in simple ways. By the way, if you're not sleeping, you can't muscle. You can't weight train yet. So we need to fix your sleep. So I realize I'm talking to many different women here, but just stay with me on this. You need to do some weight training, okay, as number 2 to fix belly fat. Why? Because I need muscle on you. So when you're sitting around or if you are on vacation, you don't constantly have to go, oh my God, I was 500 calories over. I'm going to put on weight. No, because muscle burns more calories at rest than fat. Okay. And that's why you weight train. If you want to do some cardio with it, great. But just know women who just come see us in the Freedom Club who just do cardio, the weight is always up and always down and always up and always down. Because cardio burns calories just in that moment and a little bit longer. And muscles burning while you're sleeping. I'm burning while I'm sitting here because muscle burns more calories at rest than fat. Okay. I know I repeated myself, but I am known for that because I want you to walk away with just 1 or 2 or 3 nuggets. Okay. The third concept today, it is mandatory. They are lying to you if they do not talk to you about your gut health. Okay. Because there are some very lean women who I'm talking to today who go, but yeah, Jen, I can't lose the belly fat. And I'm always bloated. I always have this roundish, right? I have a very flat belly. They have this very roundish belly, but they're very lean. I go, well, because you have a gut issue. The gut microbiome is most likely a mess. And they go, oh yeah, constipated, or I have the runs, or I bloat all the time. Shoot, Jen, but I want my belly's flat. I say, no problem, but we have to heal you. It can't just be about the belly fat. Can you hear how I'm teaching you that it's about this healing and understanding what's happening in your body? And so your gut health needs to be looked at. It needs to. Well, I just want to be like, here's a protocol. I got to know what you're doing. I got to know what supplements you're on. I got to know if you're allergic to certain things. Yes. I don't know if you're on a probiotic now. So there are things I need to know. And yes, of course I go into that if you join the club, the Freedom Club. But for today, putting that aside, just think about what I'm saying. Wow, I do fit in that category. And wow, maybe I should work on my bloating and worry less about the belly fat, because we tend to want the belly fat to go, but you actually do need to do some work internally to get that to go. I've said it before in another class, and I don't know if this woman is here today, but she said, Jen, I love this. You said, midlife is really just a wake-up call to work on what's out of balance. And when a woman does that, and she works on healing her gut, the other thing I talked about today was the exercise piece and putting more time in for herself. And 7 days a week, we take care of ourselves, not 5. And then we go to hell with ourselves the other 2, okay? And when we start really looking at our food slightly different and not feeling like it's a diet, but wow, Jen has said I cannot exercise this belly fat off, that I really do need to take a look at my sugar addiction. It's not an addiction for you, but these cravings you have at night, because I mentioned that, yes, excess fruit is a problem. It's got fructose. And so I'm in a lot of these weight training groups. Yeah, I'm in a lot of these weight training because I'm interested in them, these free Facebook groups. And I can't get over how many women say, oh, just eat a date for your cravings. And I'm not in there in any way to promote. So I'll usually will just say, well, look at your gut health, or how's your sleep? Because the quick fix can't always be, well, let's just have something sweet. Let's just have a sugar alcohol. That's a big one women do. Oh, but I do stevia a lot. Okay, but how's your belly? Well, it's a mess, Jen, and I can't get rid of the belly fat. Does that make sense? Well, it's because that stuff isn't working either. We really need to look at your gut health. Yes? Does that make sense? You're going to care for yourself 7 days a week. You're going to look at your gut health. You're going to start taking a look at your sugar and what's going on there because you will not lose belly fat. You're going to start rethinking your exercise, okay? Cardio versus some weight training, knowing that weight training does take time, but it does work. And it's long-term insurance for one of my dear friends who said visceral fat and other things. I understand. Gosh, working out in a way that works for you, not some CrossFit. I don't believe in all that hardcore. I do 20 minutes, 25 a day. I mean, I teach you, I do stuff simple. But when I really thought about it, like these are the four things, the four that I need you to do. Oh, that's Roger. Sure. And so when I say that's it, I'm not kidding. I know people want to make a lot of money off us and creams and supplements and rolling our bellies. No, belly fat is an inside job. It's a little more muscles getting on you, okay? It's the food. We got to get that sugar under your control for many reasons, okay? Alzheimer's, dementia, okay? Whew. Cancers, okay? Cysts. I get a lot of that. I get eczema. Women come see us. Okay, the sugar thing, you'll have a shrunken belly and you're like, oh my God, and I feel better. Okay, the food thing, and then not taking off 7 days a week. Okay, you don't take off, you still take care of yourself. Okay, it's really important. It's really important. Okay, so with that said, I have some, just a couple of quick next steps, just real quick, and then I'll open up for questions if you're on replay and you're not in the Freedom Club. Otherwise, come in the Freedom Club and ask us. Hit rewind. What do I want to say? Just hit reply. Hit reply. Okay, so here's next steps. And this is not to insult anyone at all, but I am very straight up because I care about you. Thank you for being here. What I just shared is not for everyone. Some women are like, I don't really want to do that. Can I have a cream? Can I do lipo? I don't judge it ever. I have some friends I know that have done it. Okay, fine. It's amazing because they're still eating the crap and the other stuff because they didn't go through this healing journey to get flat. They went for a shortcut and they didn't change who they are or their habits or anything else. And I don't really, I don't have tons of friends that join my stuff because I'm going to get really hard on you. We might not be friends. But my point is this is not for everyone. Not everyone wants to do this. So if you're a shortcut person, don't take it personally when I say, go do your shortcut. But just know you might still have your highs and lows because what I teach is once this is handled, it's handled for life because your habits have changed internally. You're healthier. Your gut health is better. When your gut health is better, you don't crave sugar and you don't bloat the same and everything seems to get better. Yes. And so that's what happens for women. That's what happened. Good, Christy. Thank you. That's what happens for women. Yes. They start to get healthy and they're like, Jen, I could never go back because your whole everything about you starts to change. So please know it's not for everyone. What I teach is it really should feel simple, fun, and easy, true story, or don't do it. And if this feels super hard, you're in the wrong place. If it feels like, damn, she makes sense, great. Stick around, check out my YouTube channel. I give away a lot of free stuff on purpose because this is my joy to teach you and for you not to be duped. Okay, so that's number one. So number two was this free stuff everywhere. And number three, and I'll be really clear on this, this is not a ploy to work with me and my team. Get some help. I don't really care where you get it. Just please don't let it be a 22-year-old male or female trainer. They have no idea what they're doing. And I would know because I used to hire them. And if someone hasn't been in your shoes, they don't know what they're doing. And with all due respect, if someone doesn't look healthy, they don't look healthy. They also don't know what they're doing because I know plenty of lean people who look very drained, very exhausted. And so it's not impressive to me to have someone have no belly fat and, 15% body fat, but they're not well. And they've had multiple surgeries and they're teaching you things, but like, are they a model for health? You don't want to follow their method. I am guessing they're an extremist. They're working you out too hard. You've got way too much drama in your diet where they're making you, you have to take everything out. Run away from that stuff, okay? I don't want you on tons of drugs or supplements. That stuff is not needed. Nothing I talked about other than maybe a few things for your gut health, okay? If you happen to have major gut dysbiosis, then yes, you need some things for a while. But none of this, right, is rocket science. None of this is some fancy cream or I need you eating some superfruit. No, this was common sense today in the right order, right? Knowing what you're doing and understanding what's happening with your body, and you will lose fat. And I don't know if there's any Freedom Club members here who have, this has happened to. There's plenty in testimonials. Maybe I'll dig some up. But what I teach works, which is why everything I do is money back guaranteed. It just works. What's one thing you would suggest for gut health? It's no problem, Donna. The sugar is a problem for the gut health. So before we start rushing to supplements, I need you to really look at your processed foods, your protein bars. If you're on these yogurts with tons of sugar, okay, that's the stuff that really matters. And so we can absolutely open up for questions right now. We'll go 10 minutes if you need it. But that's the stuff, yes? And then we could talk supplements and other things. But the sugar is taking, and the chemicals that we get addicted to in our Cheetos or the Doritos or the pretzels or the M&Ms or trying to think what else we love. The chips and the Starbucks latte, no judgment. Okay, a lot of times we're tired and we need to eat better foods to get that stuff out. But that's what I would do, Donna. That's one of the first things, okay, is the chemicals. Chemicals take out your gut health. A lot of women come see us, but I'm on a probiotic and nothing's working. Got it. Look what your diet looks like. So you're taking a probiotic, but the problem is the probiotic, A, most of them are junk, and B, you keep negating it, okay? You keep negating it. Yes, D, it's so unhealthy. I'm in a roller at the supermarket here looking at, great. Well, Anastasia, also, you've been in the club, so, there was definitely brand names, although I know you're not here local, but you start reading those labels, absolutely. Let me see if I missed anything else. Please keep asking me questions, but does that make sense? Like, that's what you would do first versus, I don't knock Dr. Gundry and all the other people. They make a lot of money off of us. Oh, you need to do this. Have more fiber. I got it. But having fiber pills and eating more fiber when 50% of your diet is not working for you, I need you to start with the diet. Okay, when people come join us in the Freedom Club, it's gut health and diet. And we just do this diet review. And between your gut health and the diet, you all lose weight. It's a true story. Losing fat. Start losing fat. It's the most incredible thing. We just have to tweak you and make sure you're sleeping, because that's something else you need to fix. But that's not for today. Maybe I'll talk sleep. I don't know. I've been enjoying this so much. I may do a survey. Good. Anastasia, we'd love to have you back in the club, but I may do a survey and keep teaching because there's things that you all need. And I am happy for you to check me out this way and ask me anything. I am a wealth of information after 20 years. There's nothing I haven't seen that I can't tweak and help you all feel better. So with that said, anyone else have a question? Okay, Donna's got something going on too. A healthy diet, limiting fruits, no candy, no yogurt. Donna, I've heard this all the time. Okay, absolutely. That's great, Donna. Pleasure. Keep tweaking, 100%. Anyone else have a question? If you're on replay, you're welcome. You're welcome, Dee. Let's go. Good. I got a lot of stuff moving around here. Good. Let's keep the energy moving. Any other questions? Otherwise, we'll end. If you're on replay, I already told you. Ask a question and let's just start thinking about belly fat. Okay, slightly different. Okay, given today's conversation, slightly different. Okay, well, then I'm going to tell everyone to go feel good. We'll see you in the club tomorrow if you're in there. And you're welcome, Neelam. It's a pleasure. Yay, of all these new women. Thank you. I really, I appreciate you all. It's my favorite thing to do. Okay, bye. We'll talk to you soon.